Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes. Today's guest is sexy, he's smart, he's witty, he's funny. He is so engaging with his fans that they just adore everything that he says and does, with one of the biggest fan followings out there. It gives me great pleasure to sit down and share his story with you all, because you guys are just going to be blown away by some of the things that you learn about this man. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show Mr. Cory Kane. Welcome, honey.
Hey guys, it's Cory Kane.
Hi, Cory. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad you decided to sit down and chat with us so we can all get to know you a whole lot better.
Yeah.
This is going to be so much fun.
Yes.
So I usually start out with asking actually a crap load of questions. So I'm just going to ask you a crap load of questions. That's right. We're going to just jump right in. So tell me about Cory growing up. Where did you grow up? What kind of child were you?
I grew up in the East Coast of Canada, in a smaller city. It's kind of boring, but there's lots of places to run around.
Very rural?
Yeah, well, kind of. Like, it was still city, but like small city.
Okay. Too few people for you to hide and get away with anything?
Everybody knows each other kind of thing still. Yeah.
Oh, one of those towns. Okay. So what type of child were you?
Pretty outgoing, I guess. Optimistic. More of a dreamer, which I still kind of am.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Imaginative.
How was school?
It was good.
Yeah.
I mean, I got picked on a little bit here or there, but like any kid does. Had some good friends, yeah.
Well, you were in a smaller school district, too. That probably helped.
Yeah, you kind of grow up with all the same people.
Same people, yeah.
Yeah.
So, when did you discover you were gay?
I think really I knew deep down before even puberty. I mean, but when I started fooling around with friends in high school, I guess I kind of...
That's kind of an indicator. Yeah. So I assume that was okay. Coming out was all right. Did you have any problems with that, or?
Not really. I mean, I had moved away on my own to Toronto, and I met my first boyfriend and everything, and just basically called my parents to tell them. My mom took it a little better than my dad did. My dad is more religious, so he had a difficult time with it, but my mom came around pretty easily. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so you didn't come out when you were still living at home. You waited.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
I waited because I wasn't fully sure myself, even though I did know. I don't know, being in a bigger city and you can live your life and do whatever you want, and then the whole coming of age process, you realize it.
This is the way you want it. You are. Yeah.
And you stop caring so much about what people think.
Well, at some point you have to grasp your own life and take hold of it and say, this is actually my life. Thank you for the first, 18, but this is mine. Thanks for the support, but it's time for me to actually do something with my life. So, yeah, I can understand that. So, who is your biggest crush growing up? I'm assuming that maybe that part of it was where the discovering came in.
Biggest crush.
Celebrity crush.
I mean, I had a big crush on Britney Spears, but I think that probably turned into a gay man crush on Britney Spears, if you look at it in retrospect. Ricky Martin was a big one. Zac Efron. Oh God, I can't remember now. There's so many. Yeah, David Beckham.
I think everybody loves David Beckham.
Yeah, even still, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, because you mentioned your parents, that they know you're gay, obviously. Do they know you're in porn?
My mom and stepdad do, but I haven't told my dad and my stepmom, but I'm assuming maybe they know by now. I don't know. I don't really talk to them too much, but my mom's very supportive, and my stepdad too.
So, and your friends?
Yeah,
they
my
all know?
friend.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was their reaction when you told them, "Hey, I'm gonna get into porn"?
Well, my best friend was actually like, "Yeah, I think you should do that," and like wanted to give me my porn name and everything. And like when I told other friends, they're like, "Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool." Like they were all supportive and happy for me.
That's great.
I
So,
remember when my first scenes came out, and one of my good girlfriends was like driving on the highway with a bunch of her friends, and they were stuck in traffic. And
uh-huh.
I had told her one of my first scenes came out in the trailer, so she like was watching it on the highway. Oh my god! And all her friends were like, "Whoa!" So that was funny.
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with your porn name?
So my best friend, when I started out, named me as a joke Chris Cory with 2 Ks, like Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started up with Cocky Boys, they asked me like what I wanted my name to be, and I said that name like as a joke, and they said, "Well, I like Cory, but with a C, and I like that too." So went with that for the whole first scene with Ricky, and the next morning I was trying to figure out a last name, and I just was watching the news, and it was Hillary Clinton and running for president, and she picked Tim Kaine as her running mate. Yeah, so just spelt it differently.
Oh, okay. So how did Cocky Boys find you?
I actually applied on the website. I was in a semester at university at the time, and I was just like, I'm finally single now. Might as well try it. So I just applied, sent some pictures, and they called me up a couple days later.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice. So what's the favorite part of your career so far? Not counting the sex. We already know the sex is great. So
The traveling, I think, is my favorite part. Yeah,
okay.
definitely. I've gotten to see a lot of cool places and everything.
You really have. So what was your first, you said Ricky was your first scene partner. How was your first day on set? Was it what you thought it was going to be?
I thought it would be more stressful, but it was just like RJ with the camera, and it was just me and Ricky, and we were outside by the pool. It was July. It was hot. I got to have outdoor sex, which I never get to do freely like that. So, and Ricky made it very, very easy. Like we got to know each other the night before a little bit, and he's a sweetheart in general. So
Yes.
it was good. I was like on a high after it was all, like, oh my god, I want to do this again.
It's like addictive.
Yeah.
So I know you are proud of all of your scenes. I know you are. But what stands out as one of your favorite? Not just the partner. I'm not talking about that because I know I would never put you on the spot for that. But if you had to pick out a scene that, like, location, whatever, what would you say was probably your top scene?
One of my favorites was me and Ben Masters because it took us over 2 days. So we really put a lot more detail and did a lot more photos, and we did 2 cum shots and all that. So that was kind of cool. But all the Love Lost and Found stuff, doing some acting, same with stuff in Paris. So yeah.
Nice.
I was top, yeah.
Very cool. So, you've been to Paris, you've been to Mexico, you've been to, where else have you traveled for your work? U.S., obviously.
Other than that, just, yeah, LA, Vegas, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I know you're single, but I know you're dating. How is dating in the porn industry? How does that work? How do you manage that minefield? Because I've talked to others about it, and they're all like, people will approach them, and they sound really enthusiastic about it at first, and then they sometimes run into these roadblocks, like, reality comes settling in, and
yeah. That's a good way to describe it, actually. I would say it's like fun and frustrating. Because like it's fun to like have all these guys that like are interested in having sex with you, but it's also difficult for a lot of people to date somebody that's in our business too. So,
Well, I mean, you're still running into the misconception that all you guys do is sit around and have sex all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is not true. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of them that say, the only sex I ever have most times is just when I'm doing scenes. So, yeah, which is understandable. It's not like you guys are roving the streets looking for,
Well, it depends on the day, but sometimes. I do love to have sex a lot.
But it's by choice.
Yes.
It's by choice. It's not like you're doing it to make, Anyway.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is people need to realize that being a porn actor is a career. It's not...
Yeah, it's still very much a business.
It's a little different than being a prostitute.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot different. And I guess that's where I'm leading with this, because I know there's a lot of misconception and to people who think, that you guys have these really glamorously outlandish, sex parties. And okay, I'm digging myself in deeper. I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Well, that does happen.
I know that, but it's not like it's every night or all the time or every weekend. It's, you guys have normal life stuff that goes on too.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so let's jump to a fun question. Superman or Thor?
Thor.
Thor, okay. Spider-Man or Batman?
Batman.
Green Hornet or Captain America?
Captain America.
All right, let's see if that...
sexier ones.
So, if you had your own superpower, what would you choose?
To be able to read minds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
With an off and on switch. I assume you want to be able to
definitely
control that because
that would be a very powerful superpower, but...
Well, it would be, but to have people constantly in your head, I think that would drive me insane.
Yeah, that's a little
to not be able to control getting them out of your thoughts.
Yeah.
So is the glass half full or half empty?
Half full.
Half full. Okay. So what is the most interesting thing about you that people may not know?
Interesting thing. I'm very open, so it's like hard for me. I never know what to answer with this one. I think a good answer for that would be like not really been given anything growing up, like always having to work for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And like move out on my own, move to a big city on my own, like do everything myself. So that kind of taught me to really have more drive. If that makes sense.
It does.
And with what I do now, yeah.
So we also know that you are an amazing cook because you are constantly posting up yummy-looking pictures of amazing food that I'm like, okay, I didn't get my dinner invitation in the mail. Not sure why not, but I'm sure one is coming.
Yeah. It will, I promise.
So what is one thing, though, that you have screwed up in the kitchen or something that you were like, oh my God, that turned out so awful, or...
like, during the winter time where I have to hibernate and not go outside because I hate the cold. I usually will smoke weed and get creative and try these different recipes out. And so there's been a lot of them that happen, and I'm like, damn it. But I guess the worst one would be like a roast, because like I made a roast one time and it turned out like super juicy and pink in the inside and it was perfect. And I did it again one night and it just was toughest, most disgusting piece of shit I think I've ever tried to make.
Well, just blame it on the meat, not you.
I blame it on the weed, maybe, but...
Well, we know that's not going away, so you're going to have to modify your pot roast weed.
Yeah.
Weeded pot, I don't know. Maybe put the weed in the pot roast.
That's a great idea. I've always wanted to do that, actually.
Make your own little stuffing and, roll it up inside your stuffing.
Yeah,
Just wild rice with pot.
that'd be good. Now you're making me want to do this now.
I mean, it's a wonderful edible. I don't know how it would handle being cooked, but,
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you can put it in brownies, you can put it in a pot roast.
Yeah, a lot of people use like marijuana oil, cannabis oil to cook with. So.
Oh, that makes the hell out of olive oil any day.
Oh yeah.
Pour that stuff on. So, Riley, your partner in crime,
Yeah.
has seen a lot. I'm assuming over his short career span with Daddy.
Yeah.
So, if Riley could talk, what do you think that he would say to you?
You're fucked.
Are you sure it wouldn't be "Where's my stick"?
Well, that too. He loves to find sticks, but yeah, either you're fucked or where's the next bone at?
Well,
For him, not for me.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, you already get enough bone there, babe. I've seen enough. There's a lot my eyes have seen, and I can't forget.
Poor thing.
It's a good thing they have so much unconditional love.
Yeah. Thank God.
So, if you had the ability to do magic, what would you use it for?
Like for good or evil?
Well, I would assume it would be good magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what would you do? What would you do for the world if you had magic?
Right now, I would replace the president with someone else.
We're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying. They're working on it. Unfortunately, they're not moving. Well, I shouldn't say they're not moving fast enough. It's not going fast enough to get him out before he destroys the rest of the world.
That's true.
He's already picked. Don't get me started on what he's already done.
We'll go there. But I would make everyone honest and kind and love each other for a day. Like a whole day, the whole world.
Just to see what it was like.
See what would happen. Yeah, maybe shit would...
It'd be amazing to see if everybody actually felt what it'd be like if there wasn't any hate in this world, whether or not they would actually go back to being the way that they were. Do you know? It's like when you turn on a light switch and you realize there's things in a room that you don't see. That would be so great, wouldn't it? To find out. I mean, obviously, we wouldn't know what good is if we didn't have evil in the world. But I think we've all got the memo. I think we all understand what the difference is.
Most people.
Can we now just okay, that's bad. Let's just stay over here though, because bad things over here aren't fun.
Exactly.
I mean, we all understand it. We've all had bad things happen to us. We didn't really like them while they were happening. So why do we keep doing this other? I don't know. So if you were a new addition to the crayon box, what color would you be, and what would you call yourself?
Some sort of purple crayon.
Okay. And what would you label yourself?
Cocky crayon.
Oh my God!
I don't know. That's the best I can come up with for that one.
Okay, I'll let you off the hook with that one because I figured you would bring purple in there somehow. But I like cocky crayons. Good. That's good. It's totally good. So when you're not cooking and you go out, what's your favorite food to eat? Go out for?
Oh, I love all food. Like I just don't like turnips or green peppers that much. So
I'm with you on the green peppers. I don't think I've ever had a turnip.
Oh, don't do it.
I probably won't because they're a very funky looking vegetable, and if it's something I can't even stand to hold in my hand, it's very unlikely I'm going to eat it. On all things.
It's very, very true.
If I'm holding this in the hand and I don't like it, it's not going in my mouth.
No. I think I like Italian food the most to go out with because it's a long meal and it's a lot of food and it's hearty and it's social and you have red wine with it and that kind of thing.
But they always bring you so much and you can't finish it all. And I know leftovers are wonderful, but I always feel really bad, like I have to finish my plate, you know.
Yeah.
So it's residual from growing up. And it's like, I can't eat another bite.
That's true.
Carb overload. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So, what makes you smile?
Funny people like you.
Well, the feeling's mutual, love. So, what makes you sad and upset?
People that are mean or cruel, like, or racist, and Donald Trump, people like that.
Oh, well, he's a prime example of everything evil and wrong in this world, that's for sure. No, I get that. I get that. So, if you had a choice between an Olympic gold medal, an Academy Award, or the Nobel Peace Prize, which one would you like?
Academy Award.
Academy Award. And what category would you like to have won that in?
Best Actor.
Best Actor. In what type of film?
Porn. That should be at the Academy Awards at this point.
Oh my God, wouldn't that be a day when it was all integrated into the same?
No, actually a good role, I guess, but yeah.
Wouldn't that? That'd be amazing. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Probably, hopefully still doing porn. I'm still loving it. Hopefully writing more, because I've been really bad at that this summer. I've been going out more and everything, but focusing more on that again, for sure.
Okay. Getting healthy and stuff. So, yeah. I know we chatted about this before, but maybe some people don't know this about you, but you are a writer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes. And so down the road, I expect to see a book out with your name on it.
Yeah,
an autographed copy sitting on my bookshelf, of course. Obviously. So, what's your favorite genre? What drew you to writing, and what kind of books are you excited about writing? I mean,
I always like horror or like thriller, something that's like a page turner, but also I remember reading Margaret Atwood's very first novel, The Edible Woman, and it's it's about feminism, but there's a lot of foreshadowing going on in the book, and a lot of bigger points that you kind of take over, and I like that kind of writing too. It makes you think and oh, I see what she's doing here, kind of thing.
Some crossover that's subliminal. Yeah. Okay. Very
so
cool.
That smarter, makes you think, but also the horror, scary.
Okay, so I'll have a signed copy on my shelf that I won't read because you're going to scare the shit out of me. I see. I got it. All right. Okay. The Stephen King Part 2. Got it. Okay.
Not as long-winded, though, my God.
I honestly never read any of his books. He terrifies me because this man writes books while he's awake that I couldn't imagine his nightmares.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, I understand. He's got the imagination, and he's a very good author. I'm not saying that. It's just that kind of freaks me out that he's awake when he writes these books. Unless these are nightmares that are coming over and he's remembering them verbatim and writing them down. This is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, obviously, fiction is your...
Yeah, definitely fiction. Yeah.
So, though, if you were to write your autobiography at the end of your life, what would you want it called?
Which Way is Up?
Which Way is Up? I like it. So, what's the meaning behind it?
You never know which way is up. You're always trying to figure it out, whether you're 16, 18, 25, 30. I'm sure I'm not past 30 yet, but I'm sure everybody's still trying to figure themselves out.
It's a little less intense, but yeah, it is. It is. So, what's your perfect pizza?
Ooh, that's hard.
It's pizza.
Some spicy salami, mozzarella, tomato sauce, garlic, maybe some arugula. I like it simple. Maybe some basil. Yeah.
Well, it's all in the sauce anyway. If the sauce
Yeah.
is bad, the pizza is never going to get, yeah.
That stone baked crust that's kind of like fluffy, but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fluffy but crisp.
Yeah.
No
Or-
soggy parts. Ew.
No, soggy.
So what kind of books do you like to read when you're doing your hermit times and
My hermit time.
your hermit times?
I do read some Stephen King. There's been a few. Lisa Jewell was a good one I found lately. She's a British author that kind of does these psychological thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those. I love Chelsea Handler's books. Very honest and funny, but smart. Yeah.
So what else do you do in your downtime? Your hermit time?
Look for guys on Grindr. That can sometimes take hours. You have no idea.
Well,
But
what is the ratio from, total, nothing that, bullshit to actually finding a
Literally.
legitimate,
probably
connection?
like 15 to 1.
15 to 1 of finding or not finding? You have to go through 15 frogs to find one prince?
One might be potential, and then like a couple hours later you'll have about 25 non-potentials to maybe like 3 potentials, and then you got to figure out which one's actually serious. And, oh my god.
It's not any better on this side. You see all those dating app things that they do all the ads for, eHarmony, all that. They're so bullshit.
A lot of the time
all
guys are
bullshit.
like on there like jerking off at the same time that they're trying to find someone, and then they come and they just go offline. Like they don't even meet up with anyone. Get off there then.
Well, that's because they think it's a complete hookup, not yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when you're on the site and you see the same trollers over and over and over again.
Yeah.
There's an app called Plenty of Fish. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I met my first boyfriend.
Is that okay? And it's free. And to me, anything that's free is going to draw in fruit flies.
Oh,
literally.
Yeah. I put them on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get them on there. I mean, I remember the first time I got on mine, it actually hooked me up with my ex-husband. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Oh my god.
Your biorhythm is completely off.
You're looking for the same one again.
I ain't going down that road again. I've already driven that car.
You don't want to use one
It
anymore.
needs new tires, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So, what's your favorite music to listen to? Who's your favorite artist? Well, actually, I know who your favorite artist, but tell everybody else in the world, who's your favorite artist and what kind of music do you like to listen to?
Favorites are, I like a lot of older stuff and newer stuff, but like Madonna is my favorite. Cher's pretty much the
Neck
same.
and neck? Okay.
And Stevie Nicks is a big one. Whitney Houston. But I also like a lot of like EDM and house music, like remixed and something with a voice that you can actually dance to, that kind of stuff.
That's cool. So, you like going out dancing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you
Yeah.
have a signature dance move?
No.
Are you sure about that?
A little bit, but that's about it.
Maybe I have to reach out to your bestie and say, hey, film his best. I want to see his dance move.
Yeah.
He'd send me a video.
Yeah.
I know. I know. So, what is the trait that you most like about yourself? Okay. Non-physical trait. We all like that, Cory. But tell us something about what is your favorite thing you like about yourself?
I think that I have a pretty good sense of humor. Like I'm very open and nothing really offends me that easily. And I laugh at a lot of things. Like so.
Well, you
I
do.
don't take life too seriously, I guess.
You can't. You really
Yeah.
can't. I mean, if you can't laugh at life and yourself, then you might as well pack
Yeah,
it
I
up.
laugh at myself a lot.
Well, we all do stupid things every day, or it's just, yeah, you have to. You just have to. So, what about movies? Do you like watching movies? What's your favorite kind of, besides horror? Obviously, I knew that was going to come out first.
Horror's my top one, yeah. But it takes a lot for me to like a horror movie now because I've seen like a lot of them and a lot of bad ones. Comedy is a good one. Um,
So, what's your favorite feel good go to movie? What is
Devil Wears
one?
Prada is like one of my favorites. I just love how Meryl Streep acted in that role and everything.
She's
But
a total bitch. I mean, she owned the bitchness like nobody's business.
yeah,
And it's that stare of hers. It's more about
yeah,
her stare. I mean,
yeah.
she's got it down. She's
Without
got
even
that.
saying much at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
resting bitch face is not an issue for her at
No.
all. Not at all. But it was, yeah, that was a really good movie, which is probably why she played the. Didn't she also do the evil gal in 101 Dalmatians?
No, that was Glenn Close.
Was that Glenn Close? Okay.
Yeah. But
Well,
she's good too.
they're practically sisters, so okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. They both have really good resting bitch face.
Yes.
So we talked a little about what you do to relax besides grinder. What else do you like to do? Because I know you hike a lot.
Yeah, I'd like to go out a lot in the summer. I don't like to be inside, like tanning in the park and reading. Shopping, I like to do too much. I just got an Xbox, so I'm going to be doing that for the winter. I love movies and TV shows.
So
Taking my
you
dog
doing
out.
the live? Are you doing the Xbox live? Or are you just gonna play?
I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still waiting for a couple other games too. And everyone's like asking me on Twitter, "What's your screen name? What's your screen name?" And like I'm happy to like add people and play with them, but I still have to figure that part out. I've never had one before. The last thing I had was an N64.
Well, I might have to hook you up with my IT guy, my son, because
Yeah.
he's on there all the time. He would
Yeah.
be more than happy to help you get yourself hooked up and tell you
Yes.
what to do. So, my IT guy, yeah,
My IT guy.
he is. He's the one that got my computer finally working right and everything. So, yeah. Anyway, so what you have scenes coming out soon, right? So we have
Yeah.
some things to look forward to seeing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple I think that are
Well, you just had a really good one hit with Mateo. How was that?
that was amazing. We had sex like every single day he was here. He was here for like 6 days, and he's a lot of fun. I mean, he'd wake up and we'd have coffee, and he'd play his mariachi music and dance around naked. Like, really hit it off. He's a great guy.
Yes.
This scene went well because I guess we had a lot of practice.
Well, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
It does. It does. So, what do you want to be remembered for
Um,
besides that?
besides my penis, just for being, pretty open about what I do and like enjoying what I do and um, doing it well, hopefully, and being a kind person. I never really get involved with any of the Twitter drama or the industry drama. I like, try to stay out of that. So I don't know. Well received all around.
Okay. But hey, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. There's if it was there ever a scene that you passed up on that you wish you had taken?
No, I don't think I've ever said no yet.
Yet?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
they always say like, "Are you into this guy?" Are you? And I have lots of different types of guys that I'm into. So
Well, you're not forced to do a scene with somebody, which
Yeah.
is always very nice because not everybody has chemistry.
yeah,
I can totally understand that. If you had the opportunity to meet anybody from history, living or past, over, gone, dead, who would that be? Who would you like to sit down and have a conversation with?
Oh, that's hard. I don't know. I'm honestly drawing a blank right now. This is terrible.
You have nobody famous or anything that you would love to
There's
meet.
just so many. Like I would mind meeting like JFK because that'd be cool, or meeting like Elvis, or David Bowie. Actually, no, I would like to say George Michael because he was really hot and I really wanted to have sex with him, and then he died. So like,
Well, he was a very, very smart, very entertaining, very talented man.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, if you had to do anything over, is there anything that you would change about where you've been so far, what you've done?
I don't think I would change anything. The only thing I would wish I would have done is started doing porn like when I was even younger. Just start out younger and like have a longer career, but that's about the only thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you're not that old, so.
I know, but like I was in a over 5-year relationship and I should have just been in that for like a couple of years because that went on for way too long, and then got into porn earlier, and then like, you know.
Well, you hadn't gotten your exit papers yet, so that's kind of understandable.
It all worked out anyways.
So, of the 4 seasons, winter, fall, spring, summer, which one's your favorite?
Summer.
Summer.
Tank tops. I'm still wearing a tank top even though it's fall now, but
Yet you live in Montreal, where
tank top, short.
it's winter most of the year.
Yeah.
I don't. What's wrong with us? Why did we head north when we should have headed south?
Is there even a country here?
I don't know. We should just make our own. We'll start our own. So here's a fun one. If you were one of the 7 dwarves, which one would you be?
Dopey.
Dopey. Oh, you know what? That actually fits.
I mean, no, half the time high.
Dopey. Dopey. Oh, so that's so funny. Who do you consider a role model in the industry?
Role model.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It doesn't have to be a current star. I mean, I know you've probably watched some older porn and.
Yeah, like. I would say right now would be Austin Wolf because he's very, very intelligent, like with how he's worked everything, and he's very smart, like just in general with how to handle the industry and everything, like how to own his own content and do new things. And I could talk to him, and he's got great advice and everything. So that's definitely one I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And sweetheart. I always looked up to like Brent Corrigan, but yeah, that's always like a childhood crush for most gay porn stars.
So if you had the ability to grant 3 wishes to yourself or someone else or anything, what would they be?
Grant 3 wishes.
3 wishes.
To myself?
Well, you could. Totally.
I would grant me and my family to have like a shit ton of money. So we don't have to worry about that.
Uh-huh.
To have a book published and to live somewhere hot all year.
I see. Somewhere warm without earthquakes. Make sure you add in there without the earthquakes. What is your favorite day that's non-work related that you remember? Some day that you lived through, be it family, be it travel, be it whatever, that was non-work related, or at least not sex related? Let's just go there.
Okay.
So pick a day. What was one that stands out in your mind?
I think the first time I ever came to New York City,
Yeah.
that was a pretty unbelievable day, because that had been a dream for a long, long time, and I couldn't believe that I was actually there and seeing everything that you see all your life in movies and everything right there, and oh my God.
The buildings, all the people, how big
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and I ended up loving it even more than I thought I would. So.
That's awesome. That's really great. If you could make a rule, if you could make a rule for everybody that they had to live with, what would that be?
That they have to live with. Just be open-minded and kind to each other, I guess.
That works.
Yeah.
That totally works. Well, you already told me where you'd be in 5 years. So what's the crazy... Okay, we will get a little couple sex in there, so let's do that. Where's the craziest place you've had sex?
A couple summers ago, I was in there's a big park near me, and it was later at night, and there was this couple that was on Grindr, also in the same park, and there's also a big school in the middle of the park, but it was summer, so there was no children around or anything. And I went and got sandwiched between the two of them at the back door of the school. And it was really hot. It was really, really hot.
You just broke all the school rules in the whole world. Oh my Lord, that is so funny.
We lined up though.
So, what is the strangest thing anybody's ever asked you? It could be it fan, be it Grindr, be it whatever. It doesn't matter. What is the strangest question that you've ever been asked?
So many. I think one that still I find strange is when I get a lot of, I don't know how old they are. Maybe they shouldn't even be on my Twitter, but I get a lot of random times where they're like, how do you grow your penis to be that big? And I have to tell them I didn't do anything to make my penis big. It's just I was born this way. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, there's no growing.
Yeah.
Not unless you go in and have it surgically altered, but I can't figure that that's very...
Yeah. Another one that I still get, and it obviously different people come from different places, but some people will ask me how do you did you choose to be gay, or how did you know if you were gay? Are you sure you're gay? Because that's just so second nature to me. It's just that you're gay when you don't choose to be gay. So there's still a lot of people that aren't educated about that, or don't really understand, or
still trying to define themselves in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm well aware of the fact that, and I've said this to others, that there are a lot of young people that unfortunately get a lot of their education from porn, because they have no other resource, or have had no other resource, or they have no one to go to talk about it that they feel safe or comfortable with. So, which is part of the reason why that I'm doing what I'm doing, because I know that there are young people who are watching you guys, and I want them to see the human behind the screen, and know that you guys have all gone through the same trials and tribulations and come out, ahead. So, obviously, you decided you were gay, but there had to have been a period in there where you had your questions and concerns. Yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
I just want people to understand that there is light at the other side of the tunnel, and that they should be happy and proud for who they are.
Yeah.
So So I mean, you obviously had to embrace your sexuality to be able to put it out there in the world. I know that a lot of the guys say that they have this voyeuristicness to their personality, but there's still a period where you have to accept that, you know, who you are in your body, and be, you know, in your own.
I think porn also helped me to find that even more too. Like once I put it out there, I'm like, okay, it's out there. Now I can actually be free and live my life the way that I want to. Like my ass was on the internet. I'd have nothing else to hide. So.
Well, nothing physically, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we have such a stigma in this world over sex and sexuality. Maybe not. There are areas much more open and free than some of them in our area. I know Canada and the U.S. still has a bunch of stigma on sexuality. And the hope is that at some point or another, the energy will shift with that, because, you know, we wouldn't be here without sex. Yeah, we could all put it into a petri dish, but I mean, the point is that we were given this ability in order to procreate, in order to you know, keep the world full of people. Yeah. So I just find it fascinating that we have such a stigma over it. Yes, it's one of the biggest industries out there. So it's ironic. So back to the whole young people thing. I just want them to see that, you know, you guys all have experiences, and, you know, that you survived everything that you went through. Some people obviously had better coming out than others. But you've all survived it and empowered yourself with it. So that's a lot of it. So if you had to, I mean, so that question seems relevant that you get asked all the time, you know, about, you know, I would hazard to guess that a lot of those questions are coming from young people who just really are trying to figure out their.
I love answering those questions though. Like if I ever get it, I just try to be as honest and open with them, and just try to help them as much as I can, and they usually appreciate it and whatever. So, yeah. I
mean, I know you get some really off the cuff ones too, but buried in between all of that, I assume are legitimate. I don't know how to deal with how I'm feeling questions, and you know, you guys are kind of counselors in your odd way.
A sex therapist. Like
yeah. I mean, it's funny that occurs, but at the same time, it's cool because they feel they can come to you without judgment and ask these questions. Yeah. And it is an internet question, so there's a little bit of that buffer there. So they've got that false, you know, safety screen up to allow them to do so. But at the same time, it's nice that they know they can come and ask those questions. So anyway, that's really cool. I mean, I love the fact that you do take the time to answer them, strange or not, you know.
Yeah.
To them, they may seem very legitimate questions, and you know, something that's obviously playing on their mind. Mm-hmm. The whole growing part, you know, I think that's kind of funny, but hey, it could be a legitimate question, because
they really just don't know. Yeah.
I mean, people's stature and the way they're built doesn't necessarily always, you know, define how their equipment comes out. You know, you've seen very big, tall, broad guys who not very well endowed, and that. Well, I'm being nice. They may be growers. We don't know these things. Well, actually, you might. But anyway, the point is that you can't judge a book by its cover and how you look. Because I remember this thought stuck in my head. You were at the Montreal Pride last year. You said something about you being a twink in this group of buff guys. And I'm like, not even close. You were not even close to being
the skinniest one there.
Well, being skinny doesn't mean that you're a twink.
A twink in a sea full of beefcake, I think is what I
Something
said.
to that effect, and I thought it was super funny because you all looked amazing. You all looked amazing. It wasn't like I was going buff, 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 twink, buff, 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 twink.
No, they were all great guys. I was just like, wow, you're a beefcake. Oh wow, you're a beefcake. Yeah.
But it all comes down to stature. They have a different body type and they have a different body structure. So you could work out as much or more than they do, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to turn you into this.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you want to turn into a steroid junkie, and then okay, there you go. So
never do.
your body, your composition is what it is, and honey, you have absolutely nothing to apologize for whatsoever. So just that when you said that, I was like, there's not a twink bone in your body. Come on.
That's me poking fun at myself.
I know, but you might like to bottom it. That does not necessarily mean that you're a twink. That's funny. So, back to the whole talking to people online and stuff. You have any advice you would give to someone who is considering getting into a career in porn?
Yeah, I would definitely tell them to make sure for sure that it's something that they want to do. And it's a lot more work than a lot of people think it is. Like, a scene takes a lot longer than the 20-30 minutes that you see. And it's a lot of work, like, keeping up with your body and eating properly and all that stuff. So just be ready for a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun at the same time.
And how would they break into that? What would you give them advice on how to actually, make that first step?
I always tell them, like, apply to the studios, like, whichever website that you can see yourself working with,
Mm-hmm.
type of feel that you want to go with, and also, like, starting up a Twitter, teasing, flirting, showing off, getting other people interested. Maybe nowadays, making an OnlyFans just for fans, and start showing off a little bit there too. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So if you could give your fans a message, what would you like to tell them?
I love you, and thanks for always being there and supporting, and hope you're still enjoying.
Awesome. So where can fans find you on social media?
So Twitter is Cory Kane XXX. Cory's with Cory, no E. The Cory Kane on Instagram. OnlyFans.com/Cory Kane. Just for fans. Cory Kane XXX. I think that's about it.
And then Cocky Boys.
And CockyBoys.com.
CockyBoys.com.
To see all the scenes.
All the scenes. See all the fun. All the fun. Well, I just want to tell you that I appreciate you sitting down with us, spending some time and some laughs, and sharing a little bit more about Cory.
Yeah.
You are actually one of the most engaging ones on Twitter, and I know your fans appreciate your interactions and that you spend time laughing along with them and interacting, and it does show in your follows that you're one of the higher followed stars out there. So
my favorite parts about it too is interacting with fans. So
although I think the fans are loving the fact that you interact with other actors too, which always turns into some very steamy
it's I
hot.
match you boys. It's how I like, hey, look, we're flirting. Can we film?
I know. You know who I'm holding out for, because I've been, cheerleading you two on for, you have a New Year's Eve engagement. Hopefully before then, it would be really great to see you and Drew do a scene together, because I think that would be like, hot.
Happen.
It better happen, because just I don't know what I would do with myself if it didn't. Anyway, thank you very much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
And thanks. Thanks. Just
Yeah,
awesome.
we'll chat soon.
Yes, we do. Yes, we will. Thank you for joining another episode of Behind the Scenes. Remember, smile and laugh every day. Hug someone that you love, be it 2 or 4-legged. And remember, you are special. Thanks again for joining the show. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.